I'm Raymond Padilla, and you're watching GameSpy Sessions.
Give me the dagger. No. You have unleashed the sands of time. I can undo what you have done. Give it to me.
His name is Prince, and he is funky, and we're checking out his adventures in Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. So, Prince of Persia. Does this Prince of Persia make up for the Dreamcast version, Ben?
Don't talk about the Dreamcast version. I'd like to forget it. In fact, the Dreamcast version is why I was so surprised to see Prince of Persia on the PS2, because it's just so damn good compared to the Dreamcast game. It's like a complete about-face. The series was totally down the gutter, and now it's back.
This was one of our big E3 surprises. I got to see it a little before E3 at the Ubi offices, and yeah, I was like, wow, where the hell did this come from? And I was just really amazed by it, and I was really curious to what you'd think.
Yeah, and as you know, I just loved it. I was totally shocked by it as well, because I didn't really hear much about it going in. I tend to, form an initial opinion about a game, and I'll stick to it until I see something that dissuades me otherwise. So everyone told me Prince of Persia was great at E3. It was like, yeah, whatever, I'll check it out, I guess. And then when I did check it out, well, what do you know, they're right. It was great.
So what does this game fall into in your minds? Like action adventure-y platform. There's a lot going on here.
Eco ripoff. Yeah, but that's a good thing.
We actually asked one of the developers of the game in our post-mortem feature that's going up on Saturday what he thought the genre was, because I think that's a really interesting question. Because Prince of Persia 1, what is it? It's sort of a platformer, but it's different than any other platformer that ever came before it. You like walk in little steps. It's like you walk in discrete units, and
it's a cautious platformer.
Right. And like you hang from ledges and stuff, and it's got just a very unique feel. It's like the control's a bit laggy too. It's delayed, so you need to plan your moves ahead of time. But we never came up with a good name for that genre, and now the same question arises: what the hell is Prince of Persia? Sands of Time.
What did he say it was? I haven't gotten a chance to check out the piece
They
yet.
said it's purely action adventure, and all right, that's what the developers think, but I think we can do better than that.
You know I can't climb like you can.
I like this game. It's the best thing I've played in a while. I'm trying to think of the last time I played a single-player game that I enjoyed as much as I did when I played through this, and it's probably KOTOR. I think it's the last thing that I thought
Really?
of.
Like this did more for you than Beautiful Joe? Because I thought you liked that a lot.
I did like that a lot. I like this a lot more. I'm really into these kind of... That's why I like when we're talking about the genre, because what genre is this? I mean, this is very linked to Eco in my mind in terms of the way that it plays, the gameplay that it presents, which is some blend of puzzling, of adventure, and of action. Platforming.
It's not a character action game, though.
No, it's definitely not.
Because that's not a genre.
Sorry, Jason Rubin.
Yeah, sorry about the Jack 2 review.
We gotta remember that.
Well, but the thing is, I'm not. Yeah, the game's actually a lot more forgiving than the original games were, because in Prince of Persia 1, the levels could be quite long, and like you get to the end, you're on the very last screen, but like step on the spikes, you're screwed, you're back to the beginning of the level.
Right.
And Sands of Time, it's really smart that you can use the rewind feature, basically, to give yourself extra lives. And it's very forgiving in that sense, and I think it actually makes it more fun because you don't have that frustration scenario where you get to the end of the level and you're screwed, and oh, I don't want to do that again.
It also encourages you to experiment too, which is a lot of fun.
I like what I like about it is that, I don't know why it seems this way, but since the Nintendo 64, since the PlayStation, 3D platformers have had this problem of like, what do I do with lives and continues? Okay, I give the player 3 lives, and then once they die, I'll let them continue. But how does it really actually harm the player? Okay, maybe they have to start the level over or whatever, but it's never.
It's just a convention that was kept up, and
Exactly.
it just became a really banal thing.
Why are we talking about this?
rewind feature. The rewind feature in this game is
Oh yeah, let's
good.
use the rewind feature to get back on topic now.
Right.
Well, the whole the time stuff was, you know, that's the whole hook of the game, the sands of time, and I couldn't help but think about Blinks. I had to play some Blinks. Yeah, I made Ben review Blinks, and you know, just how they implemented time, it was just so much better here. And you know, Ben, share your Blinks pain.
You can read my review. I don't want to talk about Blinks. Blinks is behind me now.
I want to relive it.
I starred him for a long time.
I've purged it from my system.
No! Pull it again!
I think I see how this works. Try pulling yours now.
Well,
Yeah,
Eco's one of my favorite games of all time.
Because he's the artsy guy.
Well, yeah, I guess that's it. It's one of those artsy games, and the Prince of Persia, the influence that you see in Prince of Persia from Eco, you see all the oversaturated colors, the lighting, the beautiful, huge vistas, you know, from high up, and there's a relationship with another character there, just like in Eco. And, you know, it's not quite the same, but I thought it was well
She's
done.
far more useful.
It's far more useful. You don't just drag her around.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's just different.
I don't care
know
about
if
her
it's
as much,
better.
but it's
Yeah.
that doesn't even matter. I think it's a really good job. Like I was, whenever I tell people about this game, I always say, you know, it's like the designers of this game went into a meeting and said, okay, Eco's really good. How are we gonna, you know, the main element of the gameplay that was really, really cool was this, you know, the fact that you could hold hands with your character, and we want to have that. We want to have that interaction between these two characters. But how can we...
connection.
Yeah, the connection. But how can we do it without completely ripping it off, you know, like, all right, no more hand-holding. What are we going to do? So, you know, you make her an AI character who talks to you, who you talk back to. I mean, you have no control over it, but the story elements that happen amid gameplay while you're running around controlling your character are really, really good.
Come on!
It's too far. I can't jump it.
I know where I am. This gate leads to the baths. Do you think you could find your way there?
Of course, finding my way to the baths from here should be easy.
Good. I'll meet you there.
I'll just ask the first sand creature I run into. Could you direct me to the baths, please? Well, thank you. Don't mention it. I used to be a bath attendant back when I was alive.
You didn't like the girl.
I didn't like the girl. I do like the girl. It's not that
You said you didn't care about her as much as
I
you
don't
were
care about her as much as I care about Yorda, but Yorda is, like, probably my favorite female character in a game, and that sounds real bad because she doesn't talk and
And she's really dependent
on you.
Oh.
Barefoot.
I see the personal ad now.
I know.
Wanted, mute, helpless.
Possibly speaks different language.
She talks in flowers.
I'll meet you at the baths. She orders me around as if I were a servant.
When I think of 5-star games, I think they have a special something, like a little magic, that is just intangible. And you know, that sounds really vague and silly, but nevertheless, it's there in the 5-star games. And I don't know, I didn't really get it with Prince of Persia. It's very well made. I enjoyed my journey through the game, but just little things weren't right, like the combat, for example. It just seemed like filler to me a lot of times. Like, you just swing your sword and there wasn't much technique to it, and once you learned how to block, that was it, because the block is pretty unbeatable. So I think that's a semi-major shortcoming of the combat. How it doesn't match Eco's greatness in the environment was a shortcoming. The only thing that was like timing based in the entire game, I think, was the wall jumping, and even that timing wasn't too strict, but at least it was something. Because you know, the poles was just
And I didn't really want it to be any more complex than that when I played the game. Instead of the game being, you know, this really enjoyable experience for me, it would have become frustrating at that point. You know, I enjoyed the game more, and I enjoyed the story and the level design more because I didn't have to fight the controls.
Well, it's...
Maybe a wuss, but that's what I like.
No. I'm not saying you got to fight the controls. I'm just saying there should have been more depth to the controls. There should have been like more than one exit point from each pole, so you could vary the distance you go. You'd have to care about when you push the button on the pole, instead of just jamming the button like you can, and you get off at a single exit point and you go on. And I don't know. I'm surprised you don't want more challenge, because you're the guy who just like owned Ninja 5.0 for the GBA, and that's like one of the harder GBA games out there.
Yeah, but it's only 2D.
See, the third dimension throws him off totally.
I fully intend to play through the entire game again, even though I've just played through it 2 weeks ago or something like that. It's good enough, even though it's a single-player adventure game where, I don't know, technically it seems like once you know the answers to the puzzles, it shouldn't be that interesting to go back through it again. For some reason, I'm compelled to go back through it again.
For me, you talk about that magical something, and for me, it had it. Yeah.
I wanted to give a little shout out to all the GameSpy forumites that said we needed pizza and popcorn at sessions. Well, we got some pizza. And if you keep watching, we're going to have popcorn too. We got plenty more Prince of Persia goodies, including Ben's review, Ryan's movies, and some French guy's postmortem. Check it out at GameSpy.com.
Your Majesty, I trust you will remember your promise. The Maharaja's treasure hoards lie within. See how he rides, like a warrior son.